Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boxing Unlimited once again, and then today we're going to have a discussion on the upcoming fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Well, this fight is the second one. The first one, Chris Eubank won. It's a bragging right fight, and it's going to be a tug of war and the blast. We're going to talk about the tactics today and the prediction. As we said before, this fight is a grudge match and it's too close to call. But there are so many things coming out in this fight. We'll tell you that in no particular order in a minute. Nigel Benn, the father of Conor Benn, do not want this fight to happen. He's afraid his son is not ready for the fight, or it's dangerous for him. I don't know. But the contract has been signed, and the fight is coming on the 15th of November. And it's very, very sad to hear this from him. We thought his son was doing well. But fighting against Eubank, who had a rehabilitation clause, is an advantage for Conor Benn. I do not know why his father wants him to stop. He has a chance if he fights in a certain way. And that certain way is what we're going to discuss at the minute. If Conor Benn comes into the fight and walks on the inside, goes to the body, attack the body from round one, and then do not be consistent on it, and do not let Eubank move and box. Bearing in mind, you will be prepared. Pay attention to the uppercuts from Eubank when he's coming from inside. If he does that, it's going to be a hell of a fight. Every boxer has a chance in the ring. Sometimes it's a puncher's chance. Conor Benn can hit, but he can hit very hard. Eubank is bigger than him at 5'11". Conor Benn is 5'8", and he has a longer reach. So if Conor Benn comes from the inside and rocks the body of Eubank, and then keeps on that, he will upset Eubank and make him uncomfortable. And towards the end of the fight, he will pay dividends. No doubt about that, because the power of the punches you throw comes from the legs. And if you weaken the legs, you have a chance of beating your opponent very well, very easy, especially when you hurt his body. And dissect the anatomy of an individual, of a human being, and work on the parts that are necessary. Work on the solar plexus, work on the liver. The liver punch is there constantly and consistently. Conor Benn has a chance. But what about Eubank, on the other hand, so to say, is a good boxer, has more experience, is older, is seen more damage, and the wear and tear in boxing is on him, because he's fought a lot of people. He fought the girl, he fought Groves, he's fought so many of them, so many people, over the years. Conor is still fresh and still young, in his 20s. So what is going to happen in this fight is, if Eubank wants to win, Eubank will have to come from a distance where, he creates resistance, creates space, creates gap, and then when he creates that and uses his jab to control the fight, and then prepare himself for body punches, because it's going to be a problem for him, since he's going to be losing weight. And when you lose weight and you punch at the body, you have a problem. It's a serious problem sometimes. Could hurt you, could deflate you, could take the breath out of you. And then at the end of the day, you won't be performing to the highest order, that the way you want to perform. So that is the system Benn needs to come by and to beat Eubank. If he starts from the beginning and consistently and completely attacking the body from all angles, bearing in mind that the liver and the solar plexus is the point of action, if he does that, he has a chance. But in the other hand, if he allows Eubank to use his reach advantage, create a space, create the gap, and control the fight from outside, and push Conor back, because Conor's inside fighting, inside attack on the body will have to be on the front foot. Conor will have to fight on the front foot to have a chance. He's the underdog. Psychologically, he's down at the moment because he lost the first fight, So he has to do something extra to have a chance in this fight. I'll tell you the truth. Eubank has his number, because Eubank seems to be more confident, But all those things are just flies out of the window when you're hit on the head inside the fight. According to Tyson, everybody has a game plan, but when you're hit with a blow to the head, it passes out of the window. That is what will happen in this fight. If Benn has to come with the aggressive nature of his, attack Eubank, do not give him time, fight on the fast pace, you can take the wind out of Eubank for him to have a chance in this fight. I know he's the underdog, but I feel he can put something in there. You never know with boxing. The other day, we saw Parker lose, being stopped in the 11th round by Wadley, who nobody gave a chance, including my humble self. So anything can happen in boxing. People calling on Benn to give up even his father. I do not like that. The young man is an adult. He's ready to fight. He's ready to make money. That is the only way he can make money, And you're calling him to stop or do not honor the fight. Well, Eubank Jr. did that in the first fight. But we saw, because his son was going to shed some weight and rehydration clause as well. The same thing is pumping up here, but on the different level against Conor Benn by his father, Nigel Benn. And let us see what is going to happen in this fight. This fight is a good fight. People will fill up the stadium, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium again. It's a drag and ride fight. It's a tug of war, and it's a family feud kind of. Nobody's gonna back out in this fight. Anything can happen. After the other fight, after Eubank won, he still went to the hospital. That will show you how brutal the fight and how solid Conor Benn is. Even though he's the smaller man, he's faster. If he works on the inside, increase the pace, push Eubank, he has a chance. I tell you this. But I still believe Eubank has his number. Psychologically, he's beating him before in the first fight, and that is an age that he has. But that age depends on how Conor Benn approaches this second fight. If he approaches it and become aggressive from round one, and be calculative as well, because in the first fight he missed a lot of punches, and in this one, Eubank will be targeting him. He might take a step by the side, a take back, and then, come up with that right combo, or right uppercut, depending on the one he wants to use, or the one that is available at the time of the fight. Having said that, I have to be honest with you, it's going to be a tug of war, it's going to be a blast, it's going to be a killer. One person is going to win this fight again, and I believe Eubank has an upper edge, and I believe he can win on decision. But you never know in boxing, anything can happen. As we said before, we've seen when you are overconfident and you go into a fight. We saw what happened to Mike Weaver and John Tate in the fight, when Weaver took him out, and then Weaver was the favorite to win. And we saw that happen against Parker and Wadley. Yardley, sorry. We saw that happen again in Muhammad Ali and Dion Spence in 1978. These are fights that will show you that anything can happen in a fight. You never know until the last bell, until the fight is over as well. Having said that, I'll be honest with you. My predictions here is that Eubank will win on decision again. But you never know, anything can happen. Conor can come in there and throw a haymaker that will rock Eubank. We've seen him go down the other day, being defeated by Smith, and anything can happen, so to say. But I believe that Eubank will win this fight. Do have a nice day and God bless. Bye.